Hey there, scholars. We are going to be looking at the accomplishments of significant individuals who settled for religious freedom and economic gain during a colonial period. So far we've learned about William Penn, William Bradford, Anne Hutchinson, John Smith, and Roger Williams. So we've already kind of touched upon all of them. Now we're going to make a foldable, put their pictures in there, and where they started the colony, and then you're going to take it from there and research about each person. So let's start by getting our foldable written. What I want you to do is make sure you get this one out of your makeup folder, meaning there's only 5 flaps, versus the other one, which has 7 flaps, or 8 flaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 flaps. Okay, so the title is Accomplishments of Significant Individuals. Significant means important. They did something above and beyond in history, who settled for religious freedom Remember, we talked about the separatists and the Puritans and economic gain during colonial period. Okay, that's a pretty long teak, but it's important that we get the vocabulary out. So religious freedom means they wanted to get away from the Anglican Church in England. Economic gain, it's kind of like that gold, glory, God. So the gold, so you have God and gold. And then obviously it was glory for the countries in Europe because they wanted to get more land and have influence. But these people specifically wanted religious freedom and economic gain. So the first person we're going to learn about is, well, not learn about, you already know about him. His name is William Penn. So I want you to open this up. And we're going to cut these one at a time, because if you cut them all out, then you're not going to remember which person was which. So the first one is William Penn. I even have it, like his name next to it. That way you don't mix them up. Okay. And we're going to make sure we put him at the top. There's a reason why, mainly because of the map. The maps barely fit in this foldable. So I want to make sure we get all of it in here. So William Penn. Cut. And then cut. And then cut. Okay. It's going to barely fit. After that, like, the flaps get larger, so no big deal. So William Penn. William Penn, if you remember my story, he found Pennsylvania. And that was where I went in Pennsylvania. It was in Chester, Pennsylvania, where it was founded. And there's a stone to mark it and everything. So there's that. You are going to research and write additional facts here, but I just wanted this little thing to help you remember. Okay, yeah, William Penn, Pennsylvania. The next person, sorry, close the flap, is William Bradford. William Bradford. And now you're going to open it. He was the Mayflower guy. They were the ones that, like, were supposed to go just a little bit near Jamestown, and they ended up like several hundred miles above it. And so then they were like, well, we didn't really land where King James wanted us to land, so our contract that we made with him is void. And so now let's just go do our own thing. So that's where the Mayflower Compass came in. So I have this map. And I even wrote the names on there so you can not mix them up by accident. There's no reason for these to be mixed up. I put the names by everything, and so, all right. And you're going to research facts on what accomplishments they've had. Next is Anne Hutchinson. Her and Roger Williams worked hard together to start the colony of Rhode Island. Whoops. So I'm going to cut her picture out, put it right there. Okay. And then the map. If you look at the map closely, and then glue that one down. Okay. Then you're going to write facts about her. Oh, sorry. Keep this close. John Smith. Good old John Smith. How do I always remember him? Jamestown John Smith. J and J. Like Johnson and Johnson, right? Like the shampoo company. So now you can do Johnson and Jameson or Jamestown or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you got to do to help yourself remember who settled where, who colonized where. All right. And then I'm going to cut out his picture. You guys missed it in class. We were just like we watched like the Disney version. I showed a bunch of clips and they were just like, oh my gosh, he doesn't look anything like what he does in real. Disney definitely made him a completely different person. I'm like, well, yeah. So, whoops. So up here you can write John Jamestown to help yourself remember. Okay, and then you're going to research about all his accomplishments. And then last but not least, Roger Williams. He discovered Rhode Island. So if you want to remember Roger, Rhode Island. I think they called it Providence of Rhode Island. So, all right, so this part is done. Your job is to now research their accomplishments. Now listen very carefully. I don't want to know. I mean, you can write what year they were born and what year they died and where they were born. That's fine, but that's not an accomplishment. So if you're a little fun fact of it, that's fine. But I need to know like accomplishments, major accomplishments, because these are significant individuals who settled for religious freedom and economic gain. I would like 3 major accomplishments that they've had in their life. Okay. So if you want to help yourself remember, write down 3 major accomplishments And if you can only find one or two, maybe write something really, really interesting that's a unique fact about them that maybe none of the other ones had. Okay? Make sure when you're done, you tape it on the next clean page in your on the social studies side. And I will grade this when you come back.